No, because you should have seen the horrific terror on these people. When they so-called, the so-called planes ran into the buildings, which they didn't. But when that whole thing happened, people were horrified. They were trying to get the hell out of Dodge, especially when them buildings started collapsing and coming down. Them people were getting the hell out of Dodge. They like they were running for their life. I remember seeing some of the footage, and I couldn't believe that Esau. I didn't know Esau could run that fast. You had these devils taking off down the road, tearing down that road, motherhead, inside joke. But they were moving. I never seen an Edomite move that fast. They don't work that fast. They don't run that fast. But that day, they would have beat Hussein Bolt, or any of them top Jakes, or even them Hamites. They would have beat them because they were trying to get the hell out of there. Because fear is a great motivator. Hunger is a great motivator. You know. So it says, his strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side. Right, because it's time for them to go down. So it says, it shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. That's dealing with Yahushai. This is why Yahushai is known as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords, because he's coming to take the credit for taking the crowns of all these different nations. Because all of that wealth of these nations that they have around the world, their resources, their lands, everything, even including themselves, their cattle, everything is going to be turned over to Yahushai. And Yahushai is going to share that with us because we are joint heirs with him. So he's coming back to take these devils down. So he's the firstborn of death. It says his confidence, meaning Esau, because right now when you talk to these devils, they are confident. They are confident, because of their pride. The pride of their heart has deceived him. It says his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, right? Because they're not going to have the minerals, so to speak, to realize this dream. It's just like you're running for a purse, right? And then by the time you see the finish line, you just stop. You dig in as deep as you can, and you just faint, or the ground opens up and eats you up, or you just drop dead before you even can get to the finish line. So this is what the Lord is doing. He's showing them, he's dangling the carrot in front of them. They're moving forward towards it, but they're not going to get it. It says, his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the King of Terrors, which is the Most High, and Yahushua is in there too, because the Lord, the Most High, is sending Yahushua to handle this light work. It says it shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. Brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. And what is the capital of Esau's habitation? America, modern day Basra, modern day Edom, modern day Nineveh, spiritually Babylon, or Babylon the Great, spiritually Egypt and Sodom, and so on and so forth. Many, many names that this place has, that the Lord calls its name by, these different code names. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. Right, because remember, in the book of Isaiah 14, it speaks about that. Let me see where we left off. Let me just highlight that so I don't forget. Let's go to Isaiah 14 real quick. And I, apologize yesterday I wasn't able to do a lesson. We were pretty run down. We went this Thursday. We went to go, fellowship with the brothers in Houston. They're about 3.5 hours away. And pretty much we didn't get that much sleep, breaking bread with the brothers. It's a beautiful, beautiful time. We went to camp with them, and I had a beautiful time, man, with those brothers. We're just pretty much encouraging them to continue on and, just speaking spiritual stuff. And we were up pretty late every night, including the last night, which was actually the night before, which was Saturday night, and then Sunday we were on the road. And by the time we got here last night, it wasn't that late, but we were pretty much run down, so I didn't get a chance to do a lesson. So Salaki for that. Please forgive me. Isaiah chapter 14 and 16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee. Right? This is dealing with Esau, because when you read the 12 verses talking about Lucifer, Lucifer is talking about Esau, the international banking families, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and did shake kingdoms? Because Esau did that, you know? And this proves that it's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan, you know? But it's just you have to know how to decipher in the spirit. It says that made the world as a wilderness. Who else did that? Nobody else has made the world into a wilderness but Esau. Look at the world today. Look at how it is. Look at the devastation of it. You know, I mean, there's still parts of the earth that still look like paradise, but for the most part, the earth is just run down. You know, we were downtown Houston. We were, you know, not to. I mean, homeless people everywhere. You know, I'm talking about just everywhere. You know, everywhere you go. You know, you're walking in buildings and it reminds you of New York. Piss and shit smell, you know, all in the hallways. And, you know, this place is a hot mess. And destroyed the cities thereof. And that's what they did. That opened not the house of his prisoners, right? Because they didn't set Jake free mentally by letting him know that they were the Israelites. It says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, even every one in his own house. Now, this is beautiful because this goes hand in hand with Daniel the 7th chapter. It goes hand in hand with Revelation the 20th chapter, which when it says that the rest of the dead live not again to the 1,000 years were fulfilled. That's dealing with the other nations coming back into power. Daniel the 7th chapter speaks about the same thing. We're reading here also in Isaiah 14:18, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house, right? Because after they serve their captivity, they will have freedom among themselves. They will be able to govern among themselves, but they will be tributary to us for eternity. It says, but thou, meaning you Edomites, are cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, because you are an abomination, and you promote abominations, and you persuade people to commit these abominations, you know, and that's why you have these so-called celebrities. You have these celebrities in Hollywood, in the music business, in the entertainment field, comedians that do all these foul things because they're following behind you, because you are an abomination, and the Lord calls you the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. It says, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain. Right? Because if you deal, you know, like when people bury people and let's say they shot in a drive-by, you know, unfortunately we got to use those examples because that's the reality in our cities, you know, where we live. You know, they don't want, when Pookie and Ray Ray and these other cats, when they get gunned down in the streets, they don't bury them in the clothes that they got that are riddled with bullets and blood. They take those off, and what they do with it, they throw those away, clean the body up, and then put a new set of clothes on them to bury them. You know, it says, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit as a carcass trodden under feet. And that's how this place is going to go down. It says, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land. Right. So this place, you're not going to bury anybody. They're going to be dust and smoke here. They ain't gonna, anybody that dies on the swords of America from those missiles and the lasers from the chariots, they will not be buried. There will be nothing but dust and smoke, smell of smoke. There ain't gonna be nobody digging 350 million or so graves to bury everybody. All the citizens of the U.S. No, the missiles are gonna wipe them out. Thou shalt not be joined with them in burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned. And that's what we're reading in Job 18. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Right, because they will never come back again. You hear that, Bishop Nathaniel? The Lord said once this devil is destroyed, they're not going to come back up. They're not going to, all of a sudden after 1,000 years come against, they're scheming on the Lord. The Lord had his back turned. He wasn't looking, and they put everybody back in captivity. That's the stupidest shit I ever heard in my life. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off. And I didn't even feel right saying that. I felt guilty even saying that, but just to paint a picture. I didn't even feel right saying what I just said. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts. But that just shows you how ridiculous these arguments are from these individuals. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, and son, and nephew, saith the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right, because after they serve their punishment, their captivity, they will be destroyed. Every last one of them. I will also make it a possession for the bittern, the pools of and pools of water, and I will sweep it with the besom of destruction, said the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai of hosts. Right, the Lord's going to destroy this place. So let's go back to Job 18. I believe it was 16 verse will be left off at. Let's read that again. It says, his roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. Right, because there's not going to be any remaining after the destruction, and after they go into captivity and they're rounded up and destroyed and burnt up. There's not going to be any remaining Edomite. There's not going to be any Edomites that's going to be hiding. 5 Edomites hiding in a cave somewhere. You know, some Israelite decide that, you know, I'm having mercy on them, so they hide 5 Edomites somewhere so that they can repopulate, you know, in the earth. No. You ain't gonna have that stupid hoe from the movie Planet of the Apes where she started digging, you know, she looked the one that looked like Janet Jackson. She was digging on the Edomites, so she was trying to save them. There ain't gonna be none of that shit. Everybody's gonna be in order. His remembrance shall perish from the earth. No, Lucifer, son of the morning, and he shall have no name in the street. Bottom line. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. Matter of fact, and chased out of the world. Let's see. I believe that's Isaiah 26, I think it is. And yep, Isaiah 26 and 18. We have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. That's us. We're waiting to be delivered, and it seemed like it's tarrying and taking long. And it's like the longer it takes, the more feels like the more we break down. But as the Apostle Paul said, you know, though our outward man perish, yet the inner man is renewed day by day. It says, we have been with child. We have been in pain. We have, as it were, brought forth wind. Yeah, because the summers passed and we are not saved. We have not wrought any deliverance in the earth. Right. We haven't been delivered yet, even though we're looking for it earnestly. Neither have the inhabitants of the world fallen. That's dealing with Esau. They have not fallen yet. But they are falling if your eyes are open. You could see them actually falling, you know, but they still got a firm hold, you know, even though it's slipping from them. So going back to Job 18:18, he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. He shall neither have son nor nephew among the people. Now, why does it mention? Why didn't it say wife or daughter or niece? Because the lineage of a nation solely depends on the man. If you have no men of that nation, I don't give a damn how many thousands and hundreds or millions of women of that nation there are. Once those women die, that nation dies, because there will be no Israelite man, you know, to be able to repopulate. So you have to have the men. So with Esau, it says, he shall neither have son nor nephew among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Right? Because the man is the one that creates the nation, that keeps the nation going, not the woman. You can have sex with any woman on the planet Earth. Any man can have sex with any woman on the planet Earth, and they will continue to bring forth their seed of that nation, no matter what that child looks like. Just like Jake. With Jake, any woman that Jake lays down with, no matter what that baby looks like, that's an Israelite baby. It says, they that come after him shall be astonished at his day. Why? Because right now they're living it up. You know, they don't ever think they're going to go down. They don't ever think they're going to be brought back down to a pauper status. You know, it says, "They that come after him shall be astonished at his day," right? Because you used to rule, or they won't not think that this gravy train, so to speak, is going to end. That they'll never be back on the bottom again. This is why I believe it was the Rockefellers. They used to instill fear in their children to where they would barely eat anything. They were afraid because they don't know if they're going to have a meal the next day, even though they were super rich. He instilled that fear in them, that some of them killed themselves. You know, some of them damn near starved themselves so that they wouldn't eat too much or waste anything because they didn't know if they were going to be able to eat the next day. So it says they that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High. Right. So this is the reward of the wicked. All right. And you know, when I listened to that video, you know, on Brighteon with Mike Adams, the health ranger, interviewing Stan Johnson, and he was going to a series of those visions that these people had dealing with the pocket NUKESs. That's what's going to bring the destruction of this place. And there will be, you know, horrors around the world because of all of these different incidences that are happening. And that's why they're pushing out the boogeyman, the boogeyman, the boogeyman, so that when they bring these things, they're going to blame it on the boogeyman and have everybody against them and everybody crying for peace. You know? So with that, I pray that you brothers and few sisters have been edified. Till the next time I say, Shalom.